Hello, it's Jane. I am down here in my art supply nest and I'm just prepping for a trip. And I thought, well, I might share it with you what I'm doing because it might be of interest. And it's fun to talk while I'm doing things. So everything's working, everything is good. Bit of an odd time for me to be streaming, but it'll just be there for posterity, right? So what I've been playing with is a little travel journal. This is one that I picked up when I was in Japan last time, and it's actually a little prayer book, a temple book. So you buy this style of accordion book. Just about every temple has their own one, or you can pay and the monk will actually write the name of the temple, and it's sort of like a good fortune thing that you can also do. There's usually stamps at each one, so it's kind of fun to carry a journal, especially in Japan. And if you're a sketcher and a drawer and a little keepsake keeper, well, obviously I am. It's all just makes a lot more fun, and it sort of kicks the trip off, preparing something before you go. Funny thing is, I actually even booked into a little class while I'm there, so to make that type of little journal, so I can pick the cover and all of that. I just think it'll be fun. But it's like when I did my ink making class in Tokyo. I have inks everywhere of my own. Am I going to use one? No, but it was a beautiful, I might use it. I will use it. I will use it one day. So I thought, well, why don't I just show you some of my other travel journals and why I've picked that size. And one of my big tips is I create these journal jackets. So we have them in my store. I originally used to buy them in Japan. But now I have my own made, and to the sizes that I require, like really giant ones. So I put all of my journals into a clear plastic case. Oh, that was very badly done. It's very, very easy to cut it down to fit a different type of book. And in the case of this one, I cut it at the back just to get a neater fit. And then it's protected, but not only that, it gives you a couple of pockets at the front and back of the journal, so you can put things that you collect up, or I've got these little date stickers. I thought they might be fun to incorporate in here, I don't know. And also I've got some washi tape on here, and I can then use that as I'm traveling. I can pull that off and use it in here to attach things. So I've done a few other things to this particular journal. I'll show you that in a minute, but I just wanted to show you some other travel journals. I've actually got an online workshop called Journal de Voyage that is all about travel journaling, and it incorporates all of the different types of journals that I'm about to show you. I love to use altered books. Sometimes I don't add in extra pages. I prepare the pages before I go. And I find that, how cute is that illustration, all those illustrations. Oh, I forgot how gorgeous this little book is. It just starts the trip off a little bit early and continues it on. And I've got journals that I've taken to a country several times, and every time I go back. So this particular one is one that I took to Italy, and the length of the trip usually decides on how big the journal is that I'm taking. If I'm teaching, which I used to travel and teach a bit more, well, used to do it before COVID, I take big journals, and I'll show you that in a sec. And just depending on the trip, how much art I'm going to, if I'm going to be there with artists doing art, well, I'm taking all the room I need. But if I'm traveling with friends, and it's not about me doing art, it's not about them doing art, then I've got to squeeze that in. So I can just go little, pop it in the bag, squeeze in a little art where I can. So my travel journals end up being a little bit just playing with colour, a little bit of sketching, wine labels, and then just drawing whatever comes along. Here's a little scene over some watercolour, collecting up labels, just bits and pieces. So it might be sketches, it's all going to be layered over layer over the layer. Might just be, because I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to music, that might trickle in. This is actually a stamp. This is a little pen thing that I picked up and using it with my watercolours, doing a little bit of a Italian movie star. Different hairdos. I don't know what this is all about. It might not have anything to do with Italy at all. It's just bits and pieces. So I think I even travelled with this smaller journal in a different cover. Yeah, I did actually. And then I've got a fancy little journal cover. Why don't I take that with me? Because that's actually a system that works really well. Anyway, and then I've put this in a journal later. And I go through all of this in that online workshop if you want to see those details. And it just extends the trip after. And if you're collecting up cute little bits and pieces, you've actually got somewhere to put them. And I've got little chocolate wrappers, little ballerina. Very, very quick little sketch when we were out on the water, just colour, playing around. And this is just preserving some of the pages that are in. How cute is all this? Oh, I remember sitting there drawing her. Oh, she looks like Coco Chanel. Oh, gosh, I remember sitting here sketching this. Oh, going to the Gucci garden. Oh, the folded rocks. Like all the trip is all coming back to me, and these are very, very, very quick little ideas of things. I can keep working on this. When I'm traveling, I can keep adding in other bits and pieces. So anyway, that's what the actual book has to do with Italy. Nothing. It's the right size. So I've picked this book because it's the right size and it had some cute little pictures and I just like it. This is my journal that I took to Egypt. I bought it at a little vintage market, and it was a little clutch sort of handbag. It had a little mirror in it and some pockets and files and whatnot here in a very dilapidated condition. The person told me it was camel skin. They thought it was actual camel skin, which I don't know why, but I just think, ew. But better to reuse it and not, it's a vintage thing, it'd be quite old. I took the mirror out. It was just flapping around in there anyway. I just use that as a little pocket. But I've got just, again, loose pages that I can just take this page out with me. So if I wanted to, if I was going out to see the Valley of the Kings, this is for the Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut, and I can just take this in my bag and sketch. I don't have to take the whole thing, you know, especially if you're travelling light. Just bits and pieces. Oh, I love my little sketch of the camel down here. Right on time. And then it'll be just something that really is just, I think I drew this flying there. I was just feeling happy, and there's me in my bubble. I watched Cleopatra on the way over. And I really did enjoy it very much, especially when Mark Antony jumped overboard, fell off a trireme, like off a Roman boat, and he had modern undies on. Well, at least he had undies, so I suppose we should be happy about that. Hello, Enchanted Dreams, and Eagle Reach, and Julie, and Jennifer, and Sharon. Oh, it's nice to see you. Hello, hello. Oh, great. Jenny said she loved the Journal de Voyage workshop, and she's been enjoying making journals ever since. It's such a good workshop. Like all of my workshops, they're just juicy. I filmed for years for that, through trips to Italy, France, Japan, and capturing the different ways that I incorporate doing some art in wherever I'm going. And some of it happens when I'm out walking about, and some of it happens later, or I usually have one when I'm in sketchy mode. I'm doing this all the time, and this obviously I've got the pages already painted. This is a watercolor sprayed on watercolor paper that I've then cut up and made into, again, show you all in the thing. And I've got my dear little Tinsel's footprint in there, her paw print. So I haven't added anything else, but she passed just before I went to Egypt. It was part of the reason I went, and it's just, that's her. This was a little map that one of our tour guides, if the tour guide, like I take notes when the tour guide's talking, if he needs a pen and paper to describe anything, write anything down, I'm the one with it. There. And then I can put it in my journal, you see. Dork. Love it. But then I'm the dork with all the gorgeous things at the end, so there you go. Don't know if they're gorgeous or not, but oh, this was some wisdom. What you think of me is none of my business. Must be little snatches of conversations that I've heard people say. If you don't like anyone, you're hungry. Or hangry, the same thing. If you feel like no one likes you, you're tired. Oh, that's a good little travel tip, isn't it? If you don't like anyone, you're hungry, eat a bit of cheese. Or a banana. If you feel like no one likes you, you're tired. Well, there you go. Some ladies that we saw in the markets. This is encaustic. And just House of Life oils. I just collect things up. It's not finished. I'm hoping that one day I go back to Egypt and capture more. But sometimes it's hard to fit everything in. But anyway, so that's my Egypt journal. I hope to fill it with more things. This is one that I did for Mexico when I went to Frida Kahlo's house. And I just bought the most beautiful Frida Kahlo scarf. And the lady working there was saying, her whole house is colours of Mexico. The lady worked in the store. It might have been her store. And then she was like, with Frida Kahlo, she's like, but I'm not a new Frida person. I've been using Frida Kahlo in my house for years, like 30 years. And I was like, doesn't matter when you find Frida. As long as you find Frida, doesn't matter. We can't look down on the people who've just found her. Someone turns 30 every day, right? Okay, so this is a altered book where I haven't added in my own paper. I have prepared every page because it is a book about Frida Kahlo, and so it's got writing about her underneath, and it'll also have some paintings and images and whatever, because it's a book about Frida Kahlo, her life, where she's from, her influences, etc. And so I've added gesso on all of the pages, so I would have prepared all of that before I went. And then I was actually teaching during this workshop as well. So I've got things that I've been teaching. So it's not always just related to whatever country I'm going to or my trip, because like I said, I'm listening to music. Your life is still going on, and it's, so that looks straight to me. So what's going on with my little camera here? Sorry, I'm just trying to get things happening. So this is a picture in the background. I think this is called La Vida something. Viva La Vida. And this, I saw this painting in, oh, I've only just saw the owl there for the first time. Yes, and then just incorporating some of my own art. Oh, this little doll up the top. And just playing around. So again, lots of room for me to keep adding to things. If I go to Mexico again, I'll probably take this journal and just keep adding as time goes on. It's interesting for me to look back at these things because I haven't looked at this journal for a while. And so this has all got matte medium and all sorts of different things all over it. Gel plate prints. This is like watercolor pulp stuff. And this is before I had my own art supplies, my own matte mediums. Big reason why I have my own matte mediums, because mine does not do that kind of thing. And you hear all that sticking and velcroing. Ugh. Must finish that one day. Anyway, so that's sort of like a starting point. And, well, if I ever do anything else, I'll just keep working in that. And this is a journal that I took with me to Japan last time. I'm not going to take this one because I want to be able to carry this in my bag and it's too big. But again, it's an old book. I like the title, Covert Side Sketches. That suits travel journaling. And I've got it in my little plastic cover so I can add stickers to it. And I've got my little pockets there. I can gather up oh, that is so cute. Gather up little bits and pieces and yeah, just sometimes it's about what I'm doing on the day, just things I've bought, swatching them out, just stickers, bits and pieces. It's sort of like something to do. Oh, I like this little submarine. It just sort of helps me keep alert. Oh, how cute. Oh, that's right. That's from a little notebook. Oh, I must stick all them in. Oh, I'm going to put that in that one. That's Tokyo. Put that one there. Oh, that's Tokyo as well. Oh, these are all Tokyo. Yeah, that's Tokyo Tower. How cute is that? Oh, cute. And I've also taken my rub-ons. Oh, sometimes it's better just to let go. That naughty sumo wrestlers just... Oh, these sumo stickers are so funny. Oh, yes, the egg slut. Funnily enough, that's an American thing that was in Japan. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that. Pretty intense word in Australia anyway. Yeah, just like capturing little moments. Sometimes I used to travel with one of those little tiny printers and they're just a hassle. So I just gather up whatever. And it's kind of fun to just sort of look back. Oh, see, this is one of the little things from the shrines, Shinto shrines. And the temples have the stamps and, yeah, it's usually, I like this here. You usually have different stamps and things that you can collect up. Oh, I cannot wait to go there again. Nara. Yeah, it's sort of like a little feel-good fuzziness. Oh, I haven't used... Oh, I've got a whole section. I could take this with me. It's going to be... It's not that heavy. Should I take that or the other one? And keep working in my... Or maybe I'll save this when I'm with Angus. Oh, I don't know what to do. I still don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm taking. I don't know what to do. Anyway, but I have started preparing this little journal. So what I did, I'll just take it out of the little plastic. Hey Sandra, hey Catherine. Oh, Catherine said that was her favourite workshop, the journal to be out. It was fun, right? Okay, so this is like this accordion style traditional Japanese temple book. Yuko Higuchi is just one of my favourite artists, so I bought this from her store in Tokyo and I wanted to use it. But the paper is bleedy. It's a bit bleedy. I actually did something on here and I really didn't like it. The bleeding is not my favourite. So what I thought I would do is add a little bit of paint. However, this sort of paper, it's okay. So what I did was add in some stamps. So I just came down last night and I had to test something else anyway, so I'm stamping the different stamps. So this is from some of my different stamp sets. And then I started adding acrylic gesso so that if I don't want to draw on and paint or whatever on the bleedy paper, I don't have to. So I'm going to put a little on the plane when I'm with my girlfriend, you know, we're planning out what we're doing. I'm going to pop in here. My first day is in Osaka, so we'll probably be eating octopus and, you know, there's colours, and I should really be taking my Inktopuss pen, really. Wouldn't you be cool in Osaka? I could be... But anyway, I'm drawing on my gesso rather than the base. And then I just started putting stamps in. I've got some washi tape here and there, so that I've got a little base. I can just draw right over the top of that, but I've got a little starting point. I've got some matte medium on there. And now, what I thought I might do, I might just add a little bit of paint to most of the pages is what I was thinking. Because then I don't have any white paper that I'm... No blank page-itis. I'm starting on something. Sometimes I kind of do want a blankish thing. Oh, not really. I love drawing just layer upon layer upon layer over the top of things. I didn't go to my drawing class, my life drawing class today, not because I'm going away. I'm prepared enough. It's just, it's bucketing down and I don't want to drive in the rain when it's just too full on. So yeah, just a little bit of paint here and there. I'll just have to let that, just quickly dry that off. If you've got questions for me. So the workshop you can find on my website, and it's suitable for any, it's not so much a drawing lesson, although I do go through some, I love drawing statues when I'm away. So that's dry enough to, oh, this paint, it's the best. So this I'll leave, love. So the paper's a bit strange in the way that it is a little bit bleedy, but it kind of looks really good with the stamps. So these are some of the new stamps. This is the Wild Ink set, the waves. There's two sets of waves, and this is one of the Always Thinking stamps. Oh, I sent my little, all my samples off with Angus. And this is a big stamp of the glass pen. It's so cool. And, oh, this is the eyes, the new FaceTimes. I just repeated the eyes. This is Zozzy and Poppy with a little pen stamp from Always Thinking. And I've just got the little pictures of them. Last time I had them put in my coffee. So I've got them in my journal with me. This is the Wild Ink stamp, but it looks old. Love it so much. And this ink that's here is something special that's happening later. You'll see a few little things in here that you don't know what they are, but because like this tape and stuff, this tape, they're coming. This is one of the older stamps, Dreamtime. See how it's bleeding a little bit, but I think it kind of looks fine. And then I can redraw over this, and this will be me. I'll put a kimono on myself and float along on a kimono. And who knows? I don't even know if I'll get into this side of the journal. This is these little stamps are from the Whimsical Watercolour stamp set. It is so cute, that little stamp set. That's this one. It's got lots of little stamps in it. This one with all the colours from the Whimsical Watercolours. So each of these has a little image that goes with it, and that's a stamp set of those. They're just cute images. You don't have to have them with the watercolour, but Gorgerino. Yeah, so I've just, and this was the wild ink stamps. I used the flowers, the faces, and I just used these as undulating ocean lines because I don't know what that will turn into. It just gives me something fun to play with while I'm travelling, you know. And should I just keep adding a bit more colour? I think I might. Let's go for yellow. Yum. Oh, seeing a pink page would be nice too, because I could make that cherry blossoms or something. I don't know. We'll just see. It's because I don't know how it will, if it will be useful or not. But at least I've got some gessoed parts, so I know I can trust this paper here and what this is going to do rather than what this paper is doing, because this paper is crazy. I'm going to pop a little bit of this hot pink in there just because I feel like it, just because I can. And I'll get a nice little orange happening. And then I've just got something I could draw just straight over the top of it. You've seen that in my other things. That will suit some people, won't suit others. What do you guys, do you do art when you're travelling? Oh, Cowdick crafting, yes, my funny accent. Hey Laurie, how you going? I'm just having a quick little look at the Egypt journal. That was such a good trip. Sharon said I should do a sketch class. Oh well, I don't. How would we be able to do that though with the nude people? You see, but I do many drawing workshops. But I love doing my live sketching. It's sort of my hobby. And beware of making your hobby into a job, I guess. Sorry to have to dry these things, but then I can just flip the page. You see, I just have to get it so it's dry enough. And off we go. I sent out a newsletter this morning about the Skinny Dip collection. And don't you think we should have blue here? Because this, to me, these are little bluebirds. So I'm going to pop a little bit of, oh no, this colour might look even pretty. Oh yes, I'm going to pop a little bit of this there. Oh, and because this is this kind of zigzag paper, I don't have to obey any rules about not painting from one side to the other side of the page. If you paint with acrylic here and then acrylic straight on the flip, and you are going to get trouble, because the paint has touch dried on the surface, but it hasn't underneath. It's still drying. It's going to take at least a few hours. So then if you come over and you paint and it touch dries on either side and it still has to dry through, what you can end up doing is getting a permanent little soft spot in the paper, and it's disintegrated basically, and it's just the paint on the outside that's holding it together. And yeah, just trust me that that's something to remain. Just don't do that. Just listen to me, to my wisdom. Because especially if we're using vintage papers and old papers, they don't really like to be messed with too much. We're pushing them to their boundaries. They're just meant to be read by a kid, and then that's it really. So by putting this colour field here, I'm giving myself a little opportunity to do a drawing in here, do a story in here, just as part of the day. It might even just turn into the water, or it could be about the sky. I don't know, because I don't know what's going to happen to me, or it might not be anything. And then I've got a room here for it to either relate to that, or it could be a separate part of the day. Sometimes I don't go chronologically. Usually I don't go chronologically. I might try, I don't know, because I've got all these little extra. I may as well take that right over the edge. And I've got a nice little gessoed area of my favourite paint surface, so I know that I'm going to be fine. I'll leave this in case I buy ink and I could do some ink swatches, and I'll leave that. And then I got a bit messy with my ink. I got it on my hand or whatever. I might just put in a few little, I'm going to put that colour, oops, oh, I just wanted to use it up and put too much on. I just thought this is such a nice colour. So this colour is Wonderful Wisteria. This paper just does not like water at all. So it grabs it and pulls it in. I don't like it. So I don't even know if I'll travel with watercolour, because the paper is just saying, and they say watercolour gesso every page, which I could do. But then I do like the cream colour, is nice. Anyway, that's what I've got happening. It's not about the destination, it's about the journal. And I've just got some little friendly faces waiting for me. Oops, I've put paint everywhere. Well, seeing as I've got those black dots, I really don't like those. So, well, rather than use that colour, what colour could I use? Oh, let's put a bit of that on there. Should I go blue dot, blue dot? I might go. The paper is so weird. Gosh, and do you know, and then once you sort of start, isn't it fun, like just to keep going with things? I know I've got these little blue ladies in here, these watercolour ladies in this tape. So I'm just going to grab these ladies out of here. Now, one thing about this paper is it's one shot, that's it. It is gross. I can't lift it back off. It's just not that kind of paper. So once I've put that on, that's too bad. That's it. Because if you pull it off, it just pulls the top off it. So you can use other paper. It's just I'm a bit of a paper aficionado, and I'd like to know that I don't want the paper limiting what I do and telling me what to do. I think that's rude. I think it's exceptionally rude. The paper and you are meant to work together. And if the paper's too busy telling you what it can and cannot do, that's not an equal relationship. So we've got a little bit of a story happening already, and I only did this to cover up those little black marks. I can still colour her in. I can bring that paint over. Just make it all disappear into her, actually. Oh, this paper is so weird. It even makes the acrylic look like it's blurring. It's just strange. Oh, well, it is what it is. There'd be a reason for that, and I don't know what the reason is yet, but I'm going to find out. My friend speaks Japanese, so I'm going to quiz, like, what... Oh, when I go to the paper class, I'll find out. Because it's not washi paper. And look, it's all fuzzy. Ugh. I'm going to paint that, I think. Okay, yes. So if you've got any other questions for me. Yes, I used to. My last art retreat was Italy, and that I taught at. Technically, it's not completely legal. Like, you could get denied entry to a country doing those sorts of things. And I think in the past it wasn't a big deal, but I think it's something you have to be very aware of. Just be careful. Which essentially you've got to lie when you're going into a country, which is not a great idea. So there's that, and then we just have to be a little bit mindful. I'm going to put watercolour gesso over this. I'm going to go right over them. We'll still see them through it, but I just want to do it just while we're talking. So I'm going to give this a little shake. And I need to wash that gesso brush. So this will be white though. I could tint it, but I think it'd be nice being white. It's not completely opaque anyway, as you'll see. So the little stamps will shine through enough just to have me, I've got some little faces that are starting things off. If I wanted to preserve them a little bit more, I could always not paint as much over the top, or add it in a little bit of matte medium. In fact, I'll do that for this one. And then I'll still have the watercolour ground there, it's just be thinned out a little bit with the matte medium as well. So it's just a little bit of a milky. So the effect will be a little bit different, but we've got a little mixture of the two, and I won't go all the way over the edge. I'll just come to the edge. And then I can create with watercolour over here now. Haha! Now I have the excuse to bring watercolour. Well, if I'm going to do one, I'll do a couple of others. Yeah, and the cream of the paper is coming through, so that'll be fine. Oh, I'd love to do a retreat. It's just doing the retreats, they're a little bit more, I don't know. When as a retreat, the people I'd rather go to a retreat, to be honest, and do the art rather than teaching, because it's not a holiday for the teacher. And when I'm teaching, I'm all in 1,000%. It's really full on and exhausting. That's how I find it, because I take it pretty seriously. And I really want it to be, do the best I can, and you're traveling and all that stuff. So, and I've got to come from so far away usually. But I mean, it'd be more likely that I go and just do art. Like my ideal retreat to, say, Japan would be we all just go and look at art supply stores, but I don't do any teaching. We all just go shopping. See, that would be my ideal retreat. For Japan, I wouldn't want to be teaching or anything. It's too much to look at. And also it's that balance of looking at stuff. Like in Paris, there's so much to go and see. And then you've got some people who are at the retreat who've never been to Paris. This is the once in a lifetime trip to Paris and they want to see everything. And then you've got people who, you know, go there every second week. They've already seen all of Paris. They just want to do art. They don't want to do any sightseeing at all. They just want to do the art time. So there's all sorts of things to think of, you see. With retreats and so forth. But they are an awful lot of fun, but I like going on them. Where I don't have to do any of the work, I don't have to do any of the questions, I can have a good time. And, you know, just don't have to look after anyone. But yes, who knows what the future holds? I might change my mind about all that tomorrow. I just don't know. I don't know, so how could anyone else know? Do you know, I think this needs a second coat. The paper is so odd. I feel like the paper is sort of like fighting its way through the paint, or the paint is sinking in. I'm doing this little hairy thing. We'll wait and we'll see. Because I am making my own journal, so while I'm over there, so another one. I might use that instead. I might fill this up on the way over, who knows? Oh yeah. Just Japan's kind of cool. Sorry, I've got to get this dryish so I can turn the page. Yes, Eagle Reach Studio says she takes. I'm down here auditioning art supplies, and I still haven't decided. But now that I've done my watercolor gesso, now I feel like I can legitimately bring watercolor. So I just need to do a couple more, maybe watercolor gessos, and then I know, because I can't use watercolor on this paper. It's horrible. Oops. So I've cooked that, well and truly. Oh, see, look, got it. Oh, look, I'm going to go over that with watercolor gesso too. Well, maybe that's enough. So my art supplies that I'm taking, I've got some that are on the plane with me. So I've got it, I think a pencil's great. I'm going to take one white pen. You have to have a white pen. I'm going to take tattoo ink in black, Kraken in from Gods and Monsters, neon pink, gold, and I'm taking I might take my pixel pens, because these are very, very, very light. Oh, I've got this blue as well. Is that the blue I want to take? Maybe that one. No, not from that set. Jane. So I'm trying to decide whether I take all my pixel pens or just some. And then I've got this set of, this pencil case has got in my carry-on. So, or just in my luggage. So I've just got a few more choices. I've got some washi tape. But I've got a very small little pencil case for the plain. So I might just take a few cute colours for the plain trip. Definitely black. And a purple, definitely a purple. Oh, it's so hard. Oh my gosh, this is hard. Okay, now I've just got too many things. No, that's perfect. Okay, that's my little on board one, and then the rest I'm just going to take like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take one little watercolour set. Okay, that still fits in. And I'm going to the land of bloomin' pens, but I want my own ones, of course. Doing breathing exercises because it's just so intense leaving something behind. Do you know, it's not the most exciting, but that is a very useful little palette. I've got my mixing colours, mix any colour, and these all look like different browns, but they're actually not. They're all sorts of lovely neutrals. This will be very nice for Kyoto. Oh my gosh, it's a little bit hard. Or what's layer cake like in this journal? Let's test it on this paper. Let's give it a little squeezy-cle, shall we? Oh, it's so strange, this paper. Okay, I can deal with that though, that's fine. It's not just this paper, this temple type paper, whatever we call it. It's got a Japanese name, I have to look that up. Yes. Mind you, that's a very thin little layer. Is it going right through? No, it's all good. Okay. Sort of a little bit of a slapdash type face here. Room for a mouth. Neck. Okay. Okay, well, I'm definitely taking this with me. Even though it's not a weird effect, I kind of like it. I've got another one that the first time I was testing layer cake, I tested it in that, and it's almost, it gets like this like see-through effect. It's like a dimension, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's like a softness because it's disappeared under the paper somehow. But let me just do this. Oh, and then I was going to take a couple of these. How flat is that? Can I squish a bit of pigment pebble on that? Oh, that's what I was going to put, a bit of pigment pebble in something. Yes, I'll take a pigment pebble or two. I'm just testing my art supplies. It usually takes just a second or two just to get a metallic going. Oh, the paper fully fluffed up. Oh, it's weird. If I say it 1,000 more times, it'll sink in. Oh, that looks so good in there. Oh, I think I might take these as my watercolours. Is that just crazy? I feel like how nice would it be to be tired and then I open up this little turquoise box and it's got a little shimmer of rainbow in it. I'm going to feel happy, right? That's just going to make me energized. I'm just picturing myself, I'm sitting on the train and I'm getting a bit of gold out, a bit of gold. Oh, but is there gold in that one? No. Yeah, the other one has the gold. Oh, yeah, okay. We're going this, we're going this. Okay, we have decisions being made. And of course, things totally change if I'm then on the watercolour gesso as well. So I've got a little something started there. And I'm going to go watercolour gesso here. That should be okay like that. What fun, huh? Just having a look for questions. Art shop trip to Japan. Well, that's basically every trip to Japan for me. It's not a separate entity, it's just the only entity I know of. It's my experience. I'm going to try not to put my friend through that. Mind you, she might be just happy to sit while I could just go in a good coffee shop, just park her there and I'll just bolt around. Usually people are patient if you don't spend too long in one spot and they haven't got anything to do. But then you get good at, so there's Tokyo Hands, or Hands it's just called now. And if you go and do it's got levels and levels of all sorts of things. So people can go and do it. Loft is the same thing. There's levels and levels. So I've never even gotten out of the stationery department, so I wouldn't even know what other departments there are, but there are 7 other floors that I've run through to get to where I want to go, and I wouldn't even know what's in them, to be honest. But it's enough. So when I've been there with Angus, he just goes off for hours. There's hardware department, this and that. So he can, so I just need to find her. And the other really good little place in the markets is there's the magical fruit shop, so I can just run back and forth between fruits and everything will be good. But you do have to be, nice, don't you? A good travelling companion. I think I'm going to do one more little bit of colour here, a bit of paint. I'm going to do red. And then I'm going to say this is a little bit done. We're done. We've prepped it. We've got a variety of surfaces. What I could do is stamp back on top of the paint. That would be kind of cool. I'm just going to go over this. It'll be clear enough. That looks cool. And I'll do a slightly different colour on the other side. So that was the vermilion, one of the new ones. Oh no, this is the vermilion. That's the cherry. Oh, look at this colour. So this is the vermilion. Oh, and I've got a bit of the pink on the brush. And I can't lift that washi tape off now. I'm just going to paint over it a little bit, incorporate it. And then, oh, do I like that little bit of dry brush? I think I do. Has a bit of mystery to it. And I'm going to pop a little bit of this colour in here too. I don't want to push the paper too far. Okay. Well, that's all lots of fun. And I can actually go like that. Oh, look. Look how delicate it is. Ugh. Gross. I'm up for the challenge. It'll be fine. I've worked on weird papers before. That's why I do my own. It just is a good reminder of why I am so panicky about paper. Really, I should let this dry, but we're not going to have time, so I'm just going to come back over this and help smooth it out a bit. Oh man, while we're here. So this is the watercolour gesso. So it'll work just like a normal gesso. I'm doing a fairly smooth application, so it's going to be nice with my pens. But I can also put my watercolour and it's going to hold the detail. It's going to have a nice effect actually. And pop that over there. That is very cute, but I don't need it. Gosh, if only I would say that more often when I'm over there. That's very cute, but I don't need it. Oh, I don't want to cover up my little stamp too much, but I can still see her through there. Oh my gosh. Well, seeing as I can do this, I'm just going to do that there then. And may as well just paint this as well. And then I've got a little bit more control over my surfaces. I can still stamp on them. I'm just going to come right over. Now it feels to me like this could need a second coat, but that's going to start making the paper too thick. So it is what it is. I'll just come over it. Now I'm going to have a surface that I know I can do everything on top of. It'll be great. Fabulous. Yes, I'm leaving very soon. Yes. So, okay, my friends. Well, thank you for joining me. I've got... to work out what am I going to put these in. I might need a different kind of pencil case. No, I think this will work well. And then I'll put this in something else. And I've got another little satellite one for the actual plane, because I don't need everything on the plane. Just end up with too much stuff that you never use. And it's not my first rodeo, that's for sure. And yes, I'll talk to you probably when I'm in Japan next. I'll just say goodbye to you up here in the corner. Bye. And oh yeah, I'm just so can't wait. So if you wanted to do more travel journaling, learn more about what it is that I'm doing here, this is Journal de Voyage at janedavenport.com. And it's a whole new world if you haven't done it before. It's just brilliant. But there's a few little technical things which I've touched on, but yes, you don't even have to be travelling to do the workshop. It's just super fun. Okay. And of course, everything I showed you is at janedavenport.com. You know that. And yes, I'll be posting on Instagram like last time for sure. because it just depends what I find. That I love my Japan, doing my little Japan videos. That was fun because there was just so many cute little things that I just had to share, and it's just a cool place. Okay, my friends, bye.